Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel, and today I have a new hairdo. Hope it's not too distracting. Um, I just got my hair done today, and my hairdresser, who is also my sister, likes to do curl it up like this when she does my hair. So do not expect it to ever look like this again unless I ever make another video on a day when my sister has done my hair, because I don't usually bother. But anyway, today's video is not about my hair. Today's video is going to be the much anticipated giant January book haul. So, as I said before in previous videos, I tend to go a little wild with purchasing new books in January, or new to me books in January. That's just kind of a thing that I do. I usually get Christmas money and gift cards to various bookstores around my town as Christmas gifts, and so I usually go on a bit of a book buying spree in January. And this January has been no different. I've purchased enough books definitely to last me for pretty much the whole year. I definitely do not need to be purchasing any more books this year, unless I get them for free or deeply discounted or whatever. So yeah, that is the caveat with these books, right? Is that these books were the result of gift cards purchased. And many of them were also on sale or purchased secondhand as well, because I do a lot of shopping at secondhand bookstores. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about these. There's a lot of them, and I haven't read most of them yet, so I don't have much to say about them, except that I'm planning to read them in the very near future. Whether I get to all of them this year or not remains to be seen, but, you know, we give her the old college try every year. So the first books I want to show off were actually a gift. This is the one and only bookish Christmas gift that I received, and it was this boxed set of Tolkien. It's called The History of Middle-earth 1. But what it actually is a boxed set of the Silmarillion, the Unfinished Tales, and then the first 2 volumes of the History of Middle-earth, which is the Book of Lost Tales Parts 1 and 2. These are very nice hardcover editions with some beautiful artwork on their covers. My best friend gave this to me for Christmas. It's a beautiful set and a great addition to my ever-growing Tolkien collection. So this is the one and only gift on this in this haul video. The only books that I did not purchase myself, but somebody else bought for me. So yeah, very excited about these. This is now officially my 3rd edition of the Silmarillion that I own, which great. I love the Silmarillion, so I'm not bothered by owning multiple editions of it. But yeah, so that's my fun Tolkien boxed set that I got for Christmas. And then this is one that came as, it was kind of a surprise from past me, a gift from past me to present me, because I completely did not remember pre-ordering this nice new fancy edition of The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I have read this, so this will be going on my regular shelf rather than my TBR shelf, because I have read The Poppy War. That's why I purchased this, because I read it and liked it, and this fun, pretty new edition came out with this great art and stuff inside it. It's very pretty. So yeah, I had it pre-ordered, and then completely forgot about it, and then when it arrived, I was like, ooh, pretty. So yeah, there's that. And then continuing the Tolkien streak, I did purchase the next 2 books in the History of Middle-earth series, which I'm slowly working my way through. So this is the Treason of Isengard and the War of the Ring. These are the next 2 books in that series. So I purchased them because I am planning to read them. I'm still continuing to read it. I only read one of these last year in 2024. So yeah, I'd like to get to at least the next 2 at some point this year. So that's what I'm shooting for, at least. So I purchased those. because I am purchasing them as I read them, because they're hard to find. Like, my library doesn't necessarily have them all, and I like to have them myself to mark up, and because I'm a huge Tolkien fan anyway, I want to own all of it at some point anyway. So yeah. Similarly, I purchased the next in the Realm of the Elderling series by Robin Hobb, which again, I've been purchasing these as I, read them. So yeah, this is Fool's Errand, book 1 of the Tawny Man trilogy. So that'll be coming up very soon. Then I had a Barnes & Noble gift card, and also some like discounts and stuff at Barnes & Noble because I'm a Barnes & Noble member. So I went to Barnes & Noble and I picked up a couple of books on sale. I got Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. This is like, it was 50% off, and I had a gift card, and I had like a $5 off coupon. So like, there's no reason for me not to buy it. And I am planning on reading this, and also like, it's a standalone, which is nice. It's not like the first book in a really long series or something. So, if I really don't like it, I'm not out that much money. It was only like $12 or $15 when I got it half off, so whatever, it's fine. And then I also picked up this one. Again, this was 50% off, and this sounds interesting. It's The Eagle and the Heart, The Tragedy of Richard II and Henry IV by Helen Castor. So it's a good, fun sounding historathon read, potentially. And again, it was 50% off. I don't actually know a whole lot about Richard II. He's one of those English kings that I don't know as much about as some of the others. So I feel like this might be a really interesting read. So yeah, I picked this up as well. So those were my Barnes & Noble sort of sale picks with my fancy gift card that I got for Christmas. And then I had another gift card from one of my local independent bookstores, and I went a little nuts there. So I picked up a few different things. I picked up Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. This is one of the classics that I'm planning to read this year, so I tend to want to purchase the classics that I want to read because I like to own them. I like to be able to mark them up. I like to be able to put little, sticky notes in them as I read if I want to, or whatever. So I like to own the classics that I want to read. So I tend to buy a lot of them, often secondhand, but this was there in my local independent bookstore. I had a gift card, so I purchased it. So yeah, this is one of the classics that I plan to read this year. Then I also picked up The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I just finished reading Circe by Madeline Miller, and I absolutely loved it. And so, why not? Again, this is another sort of standalone by an author that I've already read and enjoyed, so I didn't see any reason not to. And then, very similar along those lines, I picked up Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Again, this is a book that I have not read, but it is written by an author that I have read previously and enjoyed. I really like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I've heard lots of interesting things about this book as well, so I picked it up. And then I got a couple of nonfiction books. I purchased The 100 Years' War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi. Again, this is a book that I've been meaning to read for a while. My local bookstore had it, so I decided to pick it up rather than put a hold on it because my library has it, but the hold line is really long for this book. So I thought I might as well just buy it and then maybe do it as like a potential historathon read. Similarly, I also picked up An Indigenous People's History of the United States by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. Again, it's just a book that I've been meaning to read for a while, and if I own it, I'm more likely to actually remember to like pick it up and read it, especially if it's a nonfiction like this. Nonfiction books, if I'm staring at them on my TBR shelf, I'm much more likely to actually like pick them up and get them read. So I picked this one up too. And that brings us to the second-hand part of this haul video. So I always, in January, end up trawling around a bunch of secondhand bookstores in my town. And that's where I pick up a lot of the classics that I intend to read for the year. So that's a lot of what I have here. For instance, I picked up this copy of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, which is one that I'm planning to read this year. I also grabbed The Painted Veil by W. Somerset Maugham. This is a movie cover, but it's not a terrible movie cover, so it's fine. Some movie covers are worse than others, I will admit. This is all right. It could be worse. I actually quite like this copy of Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. This is a pretty nice cover design, I think, for this book, so I'm okay with this. And I picked up A Room with a View by Ian Forster. This is a little Signet pocket classic, which is nice. It was not expensive. You can see I paid $6.95 for it. This is actually a brand new copy. This is not used. It was just, they had a few of these on a table at one of my local secondhand bookshops. So yeah. And then I also did pick up this is another one where I kind of like the cover on this. This is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is actually not a TBR book. I've read this before. I just have not ever owned a copy of it, and I liked this edition of it that I found at one of my secondhand bookstores here in town, so I picked it up because, yeah, why not? I like it. It's a good book. I want to have it on my shelf, and this is a pretty nice edition of it. And then I picked up this copy of Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. Again, this is one of those books that, like, I intend to read it at some point. Might as well buy it and put it on my shelf so that I have it when I decide I want to read it. And then finally, I did, one of my local used bookstores had this, The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, which, again, I've mentioned the Dandelion Dynasty, I think, on here a couple of times in videos, is something that I want to get back to at some point. I tried The Grace of Kings several years ago, didn't quite get through all of it, largely because at the time I was still very burned out on reading, and this is a big honkin' chonker of a book, and it's pretty dense. And so I checked it out from the library and didn't get through it all before I had to return it and just hadn't come back to it. So now I own it. So again, probably more likely to get to it at some point and actually read the darn thing, and get started on this series, which I am pretty sure I will enjoy a lot. So yeah, that's a lot of books. I tried to go through them quickly because and honestly, again, I don't have a lot to say about books that I mostly have not read yet. Once I get around to reading them, I will undoubtedly have more to say about them. But yeah, so that's my January book haul. A lot of fun things, a lot of books I'm really looking forward to. I'm hoping to get to most of these books this year. The ones that I have not read yet, at least. But as per usual, I am very ambitious with what I think I will be able to read in a given year, especially considering I already have plenty on my TBR shelf that I still have to read and want to get to this year as well. So yeah, we'll see how many of these I actually get to. Yeah. Have you been buying any good books lately? Have you been found any good deals at your local secondhand bookstores? I love hearing about that stuff. You can really find gems there sometimes. If you're just, if you just pay attention to what's going on and you visit them frequently, you can usually catch something pretty quickly. Yeah. Did you receive any great books for Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you want. Subscribe to my channel if you want to, hear my reviews of some of these books later on. And yeah, the next video I'll probably try to finally do the Criterion Challenge video that I've been meaning to do for weeks. We'll see. But I really wanted to get this haul video done first because I want to put these books on my shelves, on the proper shelves, and get them set up so that I can actually start reading them. So yeah. Other than that, I guess we'll see you in the next one. Bye.